Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you're having a wonderful week. Like always, today's the day that I'm finally continuing with my Grace Jones discography journey. Now, many of you have been asking me, when am I doing another Grace Jones video? When are you doing Grace Jones again? I did take a little bit of a break from doing Grace Jones. My last Grace Jones video was listening to her Muse album, her third album from 1979. Now we made it to her fourth studio album, Warm Leatherette, her fourth studio album from 1980, 41 years ago. And I'm really excited to listen to this album because apparently this is when she starts to change up her sound. Her first three albums were disco sounding albums. They were disco albums essentially from the 70s. And now this is going to be, I don't know, it's going to be reggae, and there's also going to be some post-punk, new wave. So I'm really excited to see, what she's bringing on this album. So fingers crossed. I'm hoping I'm gonna love this album just as much as her first three albums. Now I am looking at the track list and there are 8 tracks. The album is 39 minutes and I don't recall hearing any of these songs before, but like always, if I start listening to a song and it sounds familiar, I'll let you guys know. I don't really have anything else to say right now, so you know what? Let's just jump into the first track. Track number 1, Warm Leatherette. Alrighty, that was track number 1, Warm Leatherette, and this was interesting. I liked it. This is one of the reasons why I love listening to older albums from the 80s and 70s, because it's a whole new world for me. It's a whole new world of music that I've never been exposed to, and listening to an album like this, I'm only 1 track in, and I'm just a giddy little schoolboy on Christmas morning. It's just such a treat for me. Now, obviously, she is singing about being in a vehicle with someone, or maybe she's by herself. She is singing about warm leatherette, the faux leather interior of a vehicle, perhaps the seat that she's sitting on. And she's singing about gasoline as well. Warm leatherette melts on your burning flesh. I actually think she's singing about a car crash, an explosive car crash. A tear of petrol is in your eye. So gasoline is in your eye. The handbrake penetrates your thigh. Warm leatherette. Warm leatherette melts on your burning flesh. You can see your reflection on the luminescent dash. And then at the very end, she says, join the car crash set. And then you can hear police sirens or ambulances in the production of the song in the background. So to me, it's a dark song, and it's very interesting the way she sang it, and I really enjoyed it. She also says, quick, let's make love before we die. So she's in this vehicle with her lover, and they're about to crash. I don't know if they're intentionally about to crash. I don't know, maybe they're committing suicide. I don't know. Or maybe they know their fate. They know they're gonna get into a crash. So they're saying, let's make love, let's make quick love on this warm leatherette before we die. And then join the car crash set. And then again, the car crash and perhaps die. I don't know. Now, it looks like Warm Leatherette is actually a cover of the song by Daniel Miller from 1978. So I thought this was an original Grace Jones song, but it looks like it isn't. I think for me, what's unsettling about the song is how it's almost like they're preparing for the car crash and they're just accepting it. It's almost like they're excited for it and they're saying, let's make quick love before we die, before we get into this car crash. and we get burned alive and our flesh burns and melts off our bodies. I mean, it's quite the dark song. I like macabre things. I like dark subject matter. I like watching those sorts of movies and reading those sorts of books and listening to those sorts of songs. So I enjoy the song, even though it is quite unsettling. I mean, no one wants to get into a car crash. It's a horrible situation to be in. It does say here that the lyrics of Warm Leatherette references J.G. Ballard's controversial 1973 novel Crash, which had been heavily influenced by Daniel Miller, who originally recorded the song in 1978. Now, I dug a bit further into the actual novel itself, Crash, from 1973, and it says that it is a story about symprophilia, specifically car crash sexual fetishism. That's a thing? Okay. Its protagonists become sexually aroused by staging and participating in real car crashes. Oh my god. That's... I've never heard of that before. I will say I am a little disturbed, but I'm also a little intrigued by this novel. Which is a little sick to say. I don't know what's happening in my brain right now. Oh my god. And we're only one track in. Okay. Track number 2, Private Life.
To obligation, regret shit that's so wet. I'm not my fascination. Private life, come on, baby, me out.
Alrighty, that was track number 2, Private Life, and can I just say that I'm in love with this album so far, and we're only 2 tracks in. The production is it's great. But I do have to acknowledge the lyrics in this song because I could help but smile and smirk at some of these lyrics. I mean, she's sassy and she's telling it as it is. She's being completely blunt. She's reading this person. And I mean, she's giving it to them. Your acting's a drag. It's okay on TV. But you can't turn it off. Your marriage is a tragedy, but it's not my concern. I'm very superficial. I hate everything official. Your private life drama, baby, leave me out. And your sex life complications are not my fascinations. You're still clinging to somebody you deplore, and now you want to use me for emotional blackmail? So it looks like this person she's singing about is insufferable and she's just over their bullshit and she doesn't want to be involved in their drama and their bullshit. She's over them. You know, leave me out of your petty drama. Your life is a tragedy, your marriage is a tragedy, and your acting is a drag. Now, it does say here that Private Life was originally recorded by The Pretenders in 1980. So it looks like The Pretenders and Grace Jones released their versions of the same song in the same year. Chrissie Hynde, the leader and singer of The Pretenders, said, like all the other London punks, I wanted to do reggae, and I wrote Private Life. When I first heard Grace's version, I thought, now that's how it's supposed to sound. In fact, it was one of the high points of my career. I really did like how Grace sang the song. the way she delivered it, just her tone of voice, she just sounded so indifferent, like she couldn't care less about this person she was singing about. So now let's move on to track number 3, A Rolling Stone.
I've been living my life just a rolling stone. When I needed your love, baby, you're always gone. In my life, I know that something is missing. They say a rolling stone will never gathers no moss. In my life, I know that something is missing. Now I won't let you down. Behind the rock, now I won't let you down. Give me praise, and it's really all you can give me. Now I won't let you down. Now I won't let you down.
Okay, now it's track number 3, A Rolling Stone, and this was another great song. Lyrically, I didn't find it as interesting as the first 2 tracks, but when it came to the production, it was great. It was just as good as the first 2 tracks, and I was moving and grooving and having some fun to it, and I liked it. It does seem like she is dissatisfied in this relationship she's in with this person. My life, just a rolling stone. When I needed your love, baby, you're always gone. In my life, I know that something is missing. Grains of sand is really all you've been given. They say a rolling stone never gathers no moss. One day, we will slow down and find that love is lost. So she acknowledges that something is missing in this relationship and she needs more love. Now, it does say here that unlike the majority of the material on Warm Leatherette, A Rolling Stone is not a cover, but a brand new song composed and written by Grace Jones herself. In the lyrics, Grace Jones complains to her lover about something missing in their relationship, which is affection. I'm also going to point out that there were 7 singles released from Warm Leatherette, and there are 8 tracks on the album, so that's a pretty big deal. 7 out of the 8 tracks being released as a single. So now let's move on to track number 4, Love is the Drug.
Ain't no evening, we wait for the bell to ring. Don't go about love, what's in store? Love is the drug and I need to go. Oh, examples. Love is the drug that I'm thinking of. Ain't no evening, we wait for the bell to ring. I say go, he said yes. In the light you can guess the rest. Love is the drug that I'm thinking of.
Okay, that was track number 4, Love is the Drug, and this is probably, I don't know, this is probably my favorite track on the album. If not, it's at least one of the best tracks on the album so far out of the first 4 tracks. And I really liked it. Once again, the production is, if not the highlight. I was gonna say one of the highlights, but I feel like the production on this album is the highlight. And I just love all the sounds. I love the genres that she's playing around with, obviously reggae and new wave. I do miss her disco sound from her prior three albums just a little bit, but I like this change up of genres for her, and I'm really liking the album. The song itself is pretty self explanatory, in my opinion. Love is the drug, so she's going out looking for love. The boy meets girl, and the beat goes on. Stitched up tight, can't stay free. Love is the drug. Got a hook on me, catch their buzz. Late that night, I park my car, stake my place in the singles bar, face to face, toe to toe, heart to heart as we hit the floor. Now, once again, this is a cover of the 1975 song from Roxy Music's fifth album called Siren. And it does say here that Love is the Drug is one of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame's 500 songs that shaped rock and roll. The Roxy Music's version. I've actually never heard of Roxy Music before, so definitely an artist I need to check out eventually. So now we're gonna move on to track number 5. The hunter gets captured by the game.
Every day these days, and the world puts on a new face. For the catch that I was after, and I looked up and I was in your arms, and it seemed, baby, baby, I got captured. Anytime the hunter gets captured by the one of your kisses, and baby, I knew it. My honey, the world out like a storm. Oh, the things that I was after. What's this whole world coming to? It just ain't the same.
Okay, that was track number 5. The hunter gets captured by the game, and this was another interesting track. I enjoyed what she had to say in the lyrics. The song was written by Smokey Robinson, so it's another cover. And she's saying, I had laid such a tender trap, hoping you might fall into it. But love hit me with a sudden slap. Just one of your kisses, and baby, I knew it. So she laid out this love trap of sorts to get the attention of this person that she was interested in. But what she wasn't expecting was to fall into her own trap. So they came along and started showering her with kisses and affection, and love hit me with a sun slap. Just one of your kisses, and baby, I knew it. She was done for. She fell in love with this person, and the hunter gets captured by the game. Now, this is a cover of the 1966 song by Smokey Robinson. It says here that the wife of Miracles member Bobby Rogers, Wanda Young Rogers, talks about how she had been stalking her lover, having to learn his ways and habits so she could plan how to catch him. But certain things rearrange, and she finds herself caught, presumably, in love with her game. So now we're gonna move on to track number 6, Bullshit.
And if I wander down the wrong road, it's alright, baby, just let me go. I'm so tired of bullshit, same shit. And on the road I ride to Richmond, oh, the business I'm in. Sailors,
Okay, that was track number 6, Bullshit, and this is probably one of my favorite tracks from the album so far. I really liked the melody as well as the message. I'm sick and tired of all this bullshit, rough shit, same shit. Hey Jesus, come on down and save us, rave on. If I get tired of all those assholes, it's alright because I want them to know. I don't know, to me, this song is very relatable, and I imagine a lot of people can relate to the lyrics. And I really enjoyed it. And once again, the production, top notch. I really liked the electric guitar on this track. It was really nice. And just overall, I'm in love with the production on this whole album so far. Now it does say here that the song was written by Barry Reynolds. And I actually don't know who he is. It says here that he is a British guitar player, songwriter, composer, producer, best known for his long lasting collaboration with Mary Ann Faithfull. Now, it looks like Bullshit is the only song from Warm Leatherette not to be released as a single. So, I don't really know. I mean, I imagine this song is also a cover because it was written by Barry Reynolds. Regardless, though, I think it's a great song. So, now let's move on to track number 7, Breakdown.
I'm not afraid of you running away from me. I get the feeling you want. Break down, honey, go ahead, give it to me. Break down, honey, take me tonight. It's alright. It's alright if you love me. You say goodbye right now, I'll still survive somehow. Why should we let this drag on? Break down, honey, take me tonight. Break down, now I'm standing here, can't you see? Break down, it's alright. It's
Okay, that was track number 7, Breakdown, and initially I didn't know what to make of the song in the beginning, but then by the middle, I ended up really enjoying the track, and I think it's great. I do feel like the song was a little bit longer than it needed to be. I feel like it just dragged a little bit towards the end. But overall, I really enjoyed the chorus and the lyrics and the melody. It's alright if you love me, it's alright if you don't. And I'm not afraid of you running away, honey. I get the feeling you won't. There's no sense in pretending. Your eyes give you away. Something inside you is feeling like I do. We said all there is to say. Breakdown, honey. Go ahead and give it to me. I mean, the song is pretty self explanatory. It looks like she's ready to break up with this person. They're not seeing eye to eye anymore. The passion's gone. Why should we let this drag on? Break down. Go ahead and give it to me. So go ahead and tell me what I need to hear when it comes to this relationship. Give me the bad news and let this relationship be no more. Now, it does say here that Breakdown is the first single from Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers' self-titled debut album from 1976. So we have come to the end of the album, track number 8, Pars. Okay, that was track number 8, Pars, and this is a French song. All the lyrics of the song are in French, so I don't really know what she was saying. I did look up the word Pars, and it's French for leave. The song was released as a single. It was the 5th single, but I'm not really finding any information on the song itself. I did enjoy the track, but obviously this probably won't be a song I would listen to again. But anyway, that is all 8 tracks of Warm Leatherette, and I had a great time listening to this album. I loved everything about it. I loved the production first and foremost. To me, that was the highlight. It was like an eargasm. It just did something to me. It took me somewhere else, and there were many times where I was just closing my eyes. I was just swaying my body from side to side, and I was just letting the music take over my body. And it was a nice experience. I also enjoyed the lyrics. Quite a few of these songs are covers, but I still enjoyed what she had to say in these songs. I also enjoyed her voice on some of these tracks. I enjoyed her voice on all the tracks, but in particular, there were a couple tracks that her voice stood out. In particular, tracks number 1 and 2. I wasn't expecting some of the stories that I learned about through the lyrics. In particular, track number 1, Warm Leatherette. I mean, that was an experience. I do like this new direction for Grace Jones in terms of the genre of music she's putting out. She's no longer strictly doing disco music anymore, which I will miss. I did like her disco albums, but I'm liking this new direction. So I'm really excited to see what she has in store for me with the rest of her catalog from the 80s. I really do think this is a solid album from Grace Jones. As to whether it's my favorite out of her first 4 albums, it might be. I'm not sure, because I really did like a couple of her disco albums, in particular Fame and Muse. I was a little indifferent to Portfolio, her debut album, but I really did like Fame and Muse, and now Warm Leatherette, so I honestly have no idea. Now, it does say here, although having established herself as a performer with a string of club hits in the US and a large gay following, Jones had only achieved very modest commercial success with her first 3 disco albums. For Warm Leatherette, Jones went through a musical and visual reinvention. So, visual reinvention, I want to see the music videos from this era. I don't think I've ever seen a Grace Jones music video, so that's another music video journey I have to go on. Can I also point out the album artwork for Warm Leatherette? Hands down, out of her first 4 albums, this is my favorite album artwork from Grace Jones. So what did you guys think of the album? Maybe you didn't like the album as much as me. Tell me why. And what do you think of the direction that Grace Jones is going with her music? Do you like the new reggae and new wave sound from her, or do you prefer her more disco-sounding albums and music? So in my next Grace Jones video, we'll be moving on to her 5th studio album called Nightclubbing from 1981. And let me tell you, you won't have to wait a month or 2 for my next Grace Jones video, because I really want to dig into the rest of her catalog. So I will be putting out another Grace Jones video, hopefully within the next, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks. So look out for that video, and thanks for watching, guys. You can find me on Instagram, you can find me on Twitter, you can message me, you can tell me other artists I should check out. I'm open to any artists from any decade. You can find me on Apple Music, you can check out my playlist, and so on and so forth. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Take care.